Okay, Rabotai, coming up, Rosh Chodesh Iyar is the Hilula of Rabbi Yaakov Beirav. Rabbi Yaakov Beirav. I want to speak a few minutes about who was Rabbi Yaakov Beirav. He was born in the year 1475 in Castilia. So Rabbi Yaakov Beirav was born in Castilia, and in the Girush Sfarad, in the exile of Sfarad in 1492, he went to the city of Fez. Rabbi Yaakov Beirav, once he went from there to the city of Fez, stayed there for a while, then he went to Tlemcen, believe it, in Algeria, and he made his way back to Tzfat. In Tzfat is where a lot of his life accomplishments started to take shape. Until then, at the age of 18 already, he was known as a great Torah scholar, a student of Rabbi Yitzchak Abuhab. When he came to Tzfat, he started renewing the smicha controversy, which is, he was of the opinion that based on the Rambam, one could start giving smicha, official ordination. Nowadays, when we hear a Rav has smicha, it's not a validity of smicha the way that it was in the time of the Sanhedrin. Because those who have smicha nowadays, they don't have the right to give penalties. For example, if someone stole, they should have to pay kefel, they double. They don't have that right to do that. They should have the right to give lashes. We don't have the right to do that nowadays, because we don't have the real smicha. What Rav Yaakov Beirav wanted to do was to institute smicha, and that way the Rabbanim will be able to have authority to do things that they didn't do in the past. Why did he want to do it? There's two possible theories. If you remember, this is after the Girush Sfarad. This is after the exile of Sfarad. Some say if it was to arouse the timing of the coming of Mashiach, because the closer we are to having a Sanhedrin, the closer we are to having a Bet HaMikdash. And in one of the places, it's hinted that the reason why he wanted to renew smicha was in order to give a kapara, in order to give an atonement to those who converted to Christianity, the Maranos, those who anusim, those who had no choice and they had to go to become, that they forcibly converted. If they would have lashes and makot, so that would give them a kapara, and they wouldn't. That would give them a kapara, believe it or not. So he held very strongly the Rambam's opinion, and because of in the year 1438, he already gave smicha to Rav Yosef Karo. He gave smicha to Rav Moshe Tarani, which is the Mabit, and Rav Yosef Karo subsequently gave smicha to Rav Moshe Alshich, the Alshich HaKadosh, and Rav Chaim Vital. But one of the Rabbanim that the Rav Ben Chabib gave smicha to was one of the Rabbanim that Rav Yaakov Beirav gave smicha to was Rabbi Levi Ben Chabib, the Maral Ben Chabib. Maral Ben Chabib lived in Jerusalem. He was also came originally from Spain. Now the Maral Ben Chabib did not accept at all the position of Rabbi Yaakov Beirav, and he attacked him. And he said, absolutely not, you're not allowed, and they're going to start tampering with the calendar, and he had other reasons. And there was a big fight, and there was a big machloket up to the point that the Ottoman government, which is in charge of Israel at the time, got involved, and they said, since Rabbi Yaakov Beirav is also wealthy, it could, maybe they'll take his wealth and they'll say, he's trying to overcome things and overcome the government. He's trying to make a revolt, and he had to flee to Egypt. Not before he had 4 talmidim, but either way, one of his talmidim, as we know, his main talmid that we know nowadays, Rabbi Yosef Karo, the Shulchan Aruch. This is why Rabbi David Ovadia from Sofro and a contemporary rabbi of our times, he suggests that the reason why the Moroccan Rabbanim accepted Maran to its strength more than many communities, and they were one of the pioneers in accepting Maran, HaShulchan Aruch, is because Rabbi Yaakov Beirav, who lived in Fez, he was the one who already started with the shita, with the philosophy of 2 out of 3, tre migu telat, which means this is the basics of the Shulchan Aruch's deciding factor, is that if you have 2 out of 3 Rabbanim, who are the 2 out of 3 Rabbanim? Rif, Rosh, and Rambam. The Rif had a big influence from Spain, Rambam obviously, and the Rosh was the Rav of Spain. As he came from Germany, he came to Castilia, like the Abarbanel writes, Haroshu Rabbam Shel Sfaradim. So any 2 of those 3 Rabbanim would agree, that's how the halacha is. Maran Shulchan Aruch adopted that opinion as the cornerstone of the Shulchan Aruch. So it could be, says Rav David Ovadia, that's when Morocco, it was such a strong shita, because that's what we were Yorish from the beginning. That's what we got from the beginning, and therefore we are very in line with that opinion, all the way coming from Rabbi Yaakov Beirav. Either way, he came back. He saw that his smicha didn't work, and he was niftar in the year 1546. That's the life of Rabbi Yaakov Beirav, one of the great Rabbanim and pioneers, and the Rav of one of our great Rabbanim, Rav Yosef Karo, and others. Yezichru Baruch. Amen.